some keywords. As a science teacher, this is one of the things I spend my life doing, going over keywords and their meanings, so that students can use these keywords accurately. We use a framework, and on the framework we use now, it's called language of the discipline. Well, let's do language of the discipline today. The discipline is personal progress. The discipline is catapulting ourselves from where we happen to be to where we want to be. That's the discipline. And the language of this discipline, well, we are going to look at some of the keywords from the language of this discipline. Word number 1, luck. People use this word irresponsibly, but especially in this agenda. Let's review what luck actually means. Luck is when opportunity finds you prepared. Luck is when opportunity finds you prepared. Recently, a friend of mine saw a job that she really did like. She really wanted the job. It wanted a master's degree. She doesn't have it. And she called me to lament. It is right in her lap. They want a master's degree. So I was one of the people who came to her mind for the qualification. I tick off the qualification box. But for me, that job is in England. Going back to England right now is not my game. So I explained to her, as much as I found it wonderful, it's not for me. And she was so gutted that this job has come up in her workplace. Her bosses really would like her to, but they need the job to be filled within 6 months. She cannot finish a master's degree within 6 months. Yeah. This opportunity in her workplace has found her unprepared. She's not lucky. She has not had luck. If she had a master's degree, this job will land so securely in her lap. She will not need to lift a finger before this is hers. And in that case, we would all say that she's being very lucky. Luck is when opportunity finds you prepared. Zita, yeah, Adebisi, Bernice, I greet all of you. Gladys, good morning. In order for you to be lucky, you must be prepared. Thinking about this, one of the things of my youth, many stories of my youth, we did not even belong to Rally International. We did not. But Rally International had a conference, and the opportunity had opened within 1 week of the conference. All expenses paid. All expenses paid for the young people who were going for this conference and the adults who were chaperoning. A girl who was in pole position to go for this thing, if we were looking at qualifications, experience, they had done the work. They should have been selected for this Rally International thing. She could not be lucky. Another girl who was randomly sitting somewhere minding her business was lucky. You know why? It required a trip to the States. This girl did not have a passport. Never mind the means to sort out. Even if she had a passport, she would not have been able to travel. The other girl had a passport, was American citizen, who just picked her passport and go. Guess what? She found this trip to Rally International land in her trip, in her lap. And the people who, they just didn't want to waste this opportunity for a young person. They wanted to find anybody. And yeah, there was no other person to compete with her. She was the one who had her American passport ready to go. Boom. An organization she knew nothing of ended up sponsoring her trip. And that trip to Raleigh International connected her to, she works in a similar non-profit organization. She does something similar to what was done for her when she was a young girl. But yeah, she did not know anything about Raleigh International. But she got that trip to Raleigh International purely because the trip came up suddenly, all expenses paid. The adults who were chaperoning were very keen to make sure they got a young person to chaperone. And the young person they could chaperone was one who was ready and had her American passport ready to go. She got lucky because she was prepared. She was prepared with her American passport. And she was prepared with her capacity to travel. Here in the Emirates, a few years ago, there's a friend of mine who also got a very similar opportunity. Again, to the States. Very close call to a company internship. Their company were moving some people to their New York office. Apparently, this thing had been around for a while. Some people were hogging the information. It was not going to be shared with everybody. When they applied for the visas, the people who were originally selected, some of the people who were originally earmarked for this, got their visas refused. They were not getting a visa to go to the States. The company needed warm bodies in the States. So they made that decision to find the next group of people. My friend, and this is probably even more significant than the younger girl's example I gave you, my friend was sitting here somewhere minding her business. She had gone to get a visa. She's not even an American person. She's also Middle Eastern. But she had got an American visa because she was hoping to travel. When she applied for the visa, she didn't even know that she could afford the trip. But she thought that she would get the visa anyway. And she will wait. If she's able to afford the trip, she will go. She will see how long of a visa she got, and it will give her how long she got to try and get across. And yeah, people in the office knew that she was trying to get an American visa. When she got the American visa, she had told them in the office that she got an American visa. It had become a running joke in the office that she had a visa and did not have the means to travel. But you see, people knew about the fact that she had a visa ready. When she told people that she had the visa, she actually did not have any clue that it was going to spiral into this. She was just telling them what was happening in her life. Well, it turns out on the day when the visas were refused and the managers were in panic and did not know how they were going to get people across to the States to take this quota, and they needed to set a set number of people who came from that department. And then somebody says, hold on a minute, Ventrella, how you doing? This one has a visa. She got a visa last month. She went and got herself a visa last month. This one is ready to go. And again, by the time the opportunity was presented to her, management had already sent her name to their head office in New York. Approval was already underway from New York. And she was simply told that you are going to New York in 7 days. She was told, she was ordered. She was ordered to go to the place of her dreams. She's Lebanese. She's always wanted to go to the US. She always wanted to. You know what happened to her? That move to the US was supposed to be temporary. It was not. She was sent as a delegation and then she was made a permanent staff in New York. The company filed for her immigrant visa and she is now American citizen. When she got her citizenship, she made a long video about it, telling her story. She's now an American citizen. How did she become an American citizen? She became an American citizen because she had tried to be organized to try and get to America, this place that she dreamt of going to. She wanted to get to, initially she was just trying to get there. It wasn't even very realistic as a tourist, but yeah, this was about 8 years ago. She's gone, she's lived in the US, ticked off her boxes, done what she needed to do, and she's got through. And you know what? How did she get so lucky is the question I want you to ask yourself. She got lucky because she was ready. An opportunity must find you ready. You must be found prepared. Otherwise, the opportunity will fall in your lap and jump right back out. Like this friend of mine who has a job that could be hers, but cannot be hers because she does not have a master's degree. Her degree is 25 years old. We have been trying to encourage this cow to do a master's. And every time we bring it up, she gives me flimsy excuses. And she laughs at all of us who are stupid enough to be wasting our time with qualifications. So then she calls me in tears. She was telling me that this job would be ideal for me. I'm like, listen, the UK is not for me right now. I still need some sunshine. Yeah, I need sunshine. I want to be enjoying life. So no return to the UK. This job could have been mine if I wanted to go. It can't be hers. You know why? She doesn't have one of the requirements. She has all the other things except the master's degree they need. Everything else. So that opportunity is now a wasted opportunity. It cannot be called luck. Luck is when opportunity finds you prepared. Let's talk about discipline. Discipline is a very interesting one too. Discipline is when you do it against all odds. When you do it whilst your body is screaming, protesting. Discipline is when you stay awake to do something even as your eyelids flutter and struggle to remain open. Discipline is what you do when it doesn't make sense for you to do it. Discipline is you doing things that no sensible person will do. That's discipline against all the odds, cutting across the brain. You do it. I was talking to somebody else about what another person does professionally, and she was telling me, I don't know how she does it. I do not know how she does it. She's got young children. She's got so much on her. Yeah, that's discipline. Yeah. Discipline is how you do things that others will marvel at. They marvel at it. They cannot reconcile. Oh my goodness, how come? Yeah, there you go. How come? That's discipline. Yeah. Great is related. Great. You do it and you continue to do it. As much as you are not prepared for it, as much as you don't have the resources for it, as much as your body is almost incapable of it, but you keep going. Your spirit is broken. Common sense says you should flog this horse, but you keep going. You go to a place, they disrespect you, they humiliate you, they do whatever, but you keep coming anyway because it fits your agenda. You keep going. You keep showing up. Yeah. It will take grit for you to keep showing up in your business. It will take grit. for your business to continue even whilst your body is tired. It would take grit. It would take grit to grow a business on a budget. Oh, it would take grit. You need to be disciplined. You will need discipline. In business, you need to find customers. People will say you are lucky. Opportunities must find you prepared. Somebody should be looking for somebody who can build a website. And guess what? You should already know how to do it. The information that you know how to do it should already be in the frame. Maybe even some examples of websites you have developed should be there for people to see. People should think of something and your name comes up because you have already advertised yourself. Yes. Opportunity must find you prepared. Goodness me, opportunity must find you prepared. Yeah. On this journey, you must network. Your net worth is in your network. That one is trickier to unpack because it has multiple meanings. A network can just be the physical structures, but it goes beyond that. The telephone numbers you have that you can go, no, they are not just telephone numbers. They shouldn't just be people you know. There should be people that you have actual relationships with. Your network are the people who will answer your call when it comes. As soon as they see your call, they will answer. People in your contacts who will be galvanized to move just because you need them to be galvanized to move. Now that's your network. Your network is not just people you went to secondary school with that you haven't spoken to for 5 years, who don't really care much about what happens to you. You went to a conference once and you saw a professor speak on stage. That's not necessarily in your network. Unless something happened, unless there was interaction between you and the professor, unless there was something that makes you memorable to the professor. When you can go to the professor and say, hey, I was at this conference, you were speaking, I was the funny woman in the white dress who said, and you responded by. Actually, this is a conversation I've had with Professor Arnold recently. I was at a conference where she spoke. I said something about my research area and she said, well, that's interesting. That's something I'm considering. Yeah. And so later on, when something came up and we got into conversation, I simply said, I met you in Dubai at this conference. I was the one who mentioned this topic. And she said, whoa, really? I have been thinking about you. Yeah, that is somebody in my network now. We met randomly and there was something there which made me prepared. I was lucky that I had something of interest to her. The opportunity found me prepared. I made the connection. And when we connected again, she recognized me. She knew me. A simple reminder, her memory was jogged. That person is in your network. Your uncle, your mother's little brother, who is a millionaire, may be a member of your family, but may not necessarily be available in your network. He may have 5 other millionaire friends, but his expertise, his compulsion to act, and a lot of these things may not be within your control. And if your uncle is unlikely to act on your behalf, well, he's not really in your network. Your friend is unlikely to act on your behalf. That's also not in your network. Yeah. This one is hard. Quite unpalatable. But that's what it is. It is what it is. Okay, you guys go and let's come. I have a few minutes before I'm late. I just would like a coffee and something warm. Thank you very much. The coffee is actually a bonus. That's not why I'm here. I have to remind myself of the real reason why I came. I need a deodorant stop. In my haste to leave my house today, I forgot deodorant. And as a woman of my heritage, lack of deodorant is a terrible prospect. Awful prospect. Okay, you guys, so bear with me. I wanted to do keywords anyway. I think I've done some keywords. Can we continue this in a minute? Yeah. Okay. Love you. Speak soon.